My dad is trying to steal my inheritance after being cut out of my Nana's will. So I 29M am pretty much screwed. My dad, Rick, is a classic narcissist. Always has been. He's spent his life controlling everything and everyone around him. I'm the middle child, and let me tell you, it's not a fun place to be. Older brother, golden child. Younger sister, the baby, me, the punching bag. He's always pitting us against each other for his attention and approval. It's exhausting. Things were tense, even before this all happened, like a simmering pot about to boil over. Now, it's a full-blown inferno. Nana Rose, my grandma, decided to rewrite her will. And Rick, cut out completely. Years of him taking advantage of her financially, neglecting her, it all finally caught up to him. The thing is, she left most of it to me and my siblings. I should be happy, right? Wrong, I'm terrified. I know how Rick reacts to, well, everything. He's going to lose it. He'll blame me. He already is blaming me. Says I manipulated Nana Rose. Like she doesn't have a mind of her own. He's acting like I'm the one who screwed him over. This is going to get ugly. Really ugly. What do I even do? It was a Tuesday. I remember because Tuesdays are Nana Rose's bingo nights. I'd called her earlier just to chat and she'd been weird, subdued, almost scared. Now I know why. Later that evening my Aunt Clara called. "Ethan," she said, her voice tight, "you need to come over. Nana Rose wants to see you." My stomach dropped. Something was wrong, really wrong. When I got there, Nana's lawyer was already sitting in the living room, this grim expression plastered on his face. My siblings were there too, looking pale and confused. Nana Rose, bless her heart, was clutching my hand like a lifeline. That's when the lawyer dropped the bomb. He started reading the new will, and I swear, the room started spinning. I heard words like unequal distribution, undue influence, financial exploitation, but they weren't registering. Then he said it, clear as day. Richard excluded entirely. My heart stopped. Nausea washed over me. My dad cut out, completely. Disinherited, I couldn't breathe. The lawyer droned on about how Nana had documented years of Rick taking advantage of her, draining her accounts, ignoring her pleas for help. He even had proof. Bank statements, emails, it was all there, laid bare for everyone to see. My brother and sister were stunned into silence, but I felt this weird mix of relief and absolute dread. Then the kicker. The remainder of the estate to be divided equally between Ethan, Sarah, and Michael. Me, my siblings, we were getting everything. I looked at Nana Rose, her eyes filled with tears. Tears of what? Shame, fear, relief? I didn't know. All I knew was that my world had just imploded. I stammered something about not wanting it, about it not being fair, but Nana just squeezed my hand tighter. "It's yours, Ethan," she whispered, her voice trembling. "He doesn't deserve it." The car ride home was a blur. I called Rick immediately, thinking I had to tell him, warn him something. Big mistake. He didn't even let me finish explaining. He exploded. Screaming, ranting, accusing me of poisoning Nana Rose against him. Saying I'd put her up to this. He called me a liar, a thief, a snake. He actually said, "You'll regret this, Ethan, you'll regret this." Then he hung up, just click. I sat in my car, shaking, phone still clutched in my hand, the weight of his rage crushing me. How could he blame me? I didn't do anything. This wasn't my fault. But deep down, I knew this was just the beginning. I tried to talk to him again the next day, thought maybe he'd calmed down. Joke on me, right? I went over to their house, steeling myself for whatever fresh hell awaited. He was in the living room, pacing like a caged tiger. My mom was there too, wringing her hands, looking like she was about to throw up. Seriously, the tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. I took a deep breath and started to explain again that I had nothing to do with Nana Rose's decision. "Dad," I said, trying to keep my voice even, "I didn't ask for this. I swear, you need to talk to Nana Rose." That's when he really lost it. "Talk to her," he roared. "Talk to her, you think I have, she won't even take my calls, she's been brainwashed, by you." He jabbed a finger at my chest, hard. "You've been poisoning her against me for years, haven't you? Waiting for this moment, waiting to steal what's rightfully mine." My mom just sat there silent, not defending me, not even looking at me, just staring at the floor. "It's not like that, Dad," I pleaded, my voice cracking. "I didn't do anything, you need to understand." He cut me off. "Understand? I understand perfectly." "You're a greedy, manipulative little," he trailed off, shaking his head. "You're just like your mother," he muttered, "always trying to undermine me." That's when my stomach lurched. He always used that line, "just like your mother." It was his ultimate insult, his go-to weapon, and it always hit me right where it hurt. My hands started shaking. My chest felt tight, like I couldn't breathe. I could feel the tears welling up, but I refused to cry, not in front of him, never in front of him. "This isn't about Mom," I managed to choke out. "This is about you and Nana Rose. You need to. Don't you dare lecture me," he thundered, his face turning purple. "You are the reason our family is falling apart. You are the one tearing us all apart." That's when it hit me. This wasn't normal. This wasn't just a family disagreement. This was toxic, poisonous. He was twisting everything, making me the villain, making me feel like I was responsible for his actions. It was classic Rick. Always the victim, always blaming everyone else. I backed away slowly, my head spinning. I can't do this," I stammered, turning and fleeing the house. I didn't even look back, I just ran. I drove around for hours, just numb, trying to process what had just happened, trying to make sense of the chaos. And that's when the fear really set in. This wasn't over, not even close. This was just the beginning of a war. A war I didn't want to fight, but a war I knew I couldn't avoid. A week later, and things have gone from bad to nuclear. Rick's launched a full-blown smear campaign. He's calling every single relative, spinning this insane narrative about how I'm some mastermind manipulator who's brainwashed Nana Rose and stolen his rightful inheritance. I'm getting calls from aunts, uncles, cousins I haven't spoken to in years. They're all parroting the same lines. "Ethan, how could you do this to your father? You've always been so selfish. Think about your poor father. Seriously, I'm the selfish one. He's the one who spent years bleeding Nana Rose dry." My Aunt Susan, Rick's sister, called me yesterday. She actually had the nerve to say, "Ethan, your father is heartbroken. He's always done so much for you. How could you betray him like this?" I almost lost it. "Done so much for me," I snapped back. "Like what, Susan? Like constantly belittling me, like pitting me against my siblings, like making me feel like I'm never good enough." I hung up on her. I couldn't even deal with it. And then the Facebook post. OMGTHE Facebook post. He posted this long, melodramatic rant about family betrayal and greedy children and how he's the real victim in all of this. He didn't mention me by name, but everyone knew who he was talking about. The comments section, a dumpster fire. People I barely know chiming in with their opinions, taking his side, calling me all sorts of names. It's like some kind of public flogging. I feel humiliated, exposed, violated. I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can barely function. I'm constantly on edge, waiting for the next phone call, the next nasty comment, the next attack. My work is suffering. My relationship with my girlfriend is strained. She's trying to be supportive, but honestly, I don't even know what to say to her anymore. I just feel broken. This isn't just about the money anymore. This is about my sanity, my self-worth, my entire life. I have to do something. I can't let him win. I can't let him destroy me. I'm starting to think about lawyers, about gathering evidence, about fighting back. I know it's going to be a long, hard battle, but I'm ready. I have to be. Because if I don't fight back now, I'll never forgive myself. I was a wreck. Seriously, a complete and utter mess. I couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, couldn't focus on anything. Rick's smear campaign was working. Family, friends, even random acquaintances were starting to believe his lies. I felt so alone, so isolated, so ashamed. Like I was the one who'd done something wrong. Aunt Clara, my dad's younger sister, has always been different. She's the only one in the family who's ever really seen Rick for who he is. She called me a few days after the Facebook fiasco. I almost didn't answer. I just couldn't face another lecture, another accusation, but something told me to pick up. "Ethan," she said, her voice gentle, "I need to talk to you. Can we meet?" We met at a little coffee shop near her house. I was a nervous wreck, fidgeting, picking at my nails. I blurted out the whole story, barely pausing for breath. How Rick had been cut out of Nana Rose's will, how he was blaming me, the smear campaign, the Facebook post, everything. I half expected her to jump down my throat, to tell me I should just apologize to my father and make things right. But she didn't. She just listened. Really listened. And when I was finished, she looked at me with this, sadness in her eyes. "Ethan," she said softly, "I believe you." Those 3 words, I swear, they felt like a lifeline. Someone finally believed me. I started to cry, ugly, heaving sobs I couldn't stop. "He's done this before, you know," Aunt Clara said quietly, handing me a tissue. "Done what?" I sniffled. This whole victim act. The manipulation, the blaming everyone else for his problems. "He did it to your mom, he did it to me, and now he's doing it to you." I looked at her, stunned. "What do you mean?" she sighed. "Ethan, your father has a history of financial irresponsibility. He's always been chasing get-rich-quick schemes, borrowing money he can't repay, blaming everyone else when things go wrong. He even tried to borrow money from Nana Rose a few years ago, a substantial amount, and when she refused, he didn't speak to her for months. He told everyone she was the one being unreasonable. My jaw dropped. I had no idea. He's a master manipulator, Ethan, Aunt Clara said, her voice firm. He twists things, rewrites history, makes himself the victim, and he's good at it. He's been doing it for so long he believes his own lies. She reached across the table and took my hand. This isn't your fault, Ethan. Don't let him make you believe it is. Nana Rose made her own decision. She's a strong, intelligent woman. She saw through his charade, and you need to too. Something clicked. Something shifted inside me. For the first time, I saw the situation clearly. This wasn't about me. This wasn't about the inheritance. This was about Rick. About his insecurities, his entitlement, his inability to take responsibility for his own actions. And I was just his latest scapegoat. What do I do? I asked, my voice trembling. Aunt Clara squeezed my hand. You stand your ground, Ethan. You protect Nana Rose, and you don't let him drag you down with him. Her words were like a shot of adrenaline. I felt a surge of something. Not quite hope, not yet, but something close. A flicker of strength, a spark of defiance. I finally realized I wasn't alone, and I wasn't going to let him win. Not this time, so I thought things were bad. I was wrong. They got so much worse. After Aunt Clara talked some sense into me, I started feeling stronger, like I could actually handle this. I started gathering evidence. Bank statements, emails, anything that could prove Rick's pattern of manipulation and financial abuse. I even talked to a lawyer. Things were finally starting to feel manageable. Then came the final straw. The moment that completely shattered any remaining doubt or guilt. The moment I realized just how far Rick was willing to go. It was a Saturday morning. I was at home, trying to work, but my mind was racing. I heard a knock at the door. It was Rick, and he had a locksmith with him. What are you doing here? I stammered, my heart pounding in my chest. Just upgrading your locks, son, he said, this smarmy smile plastered on his face. For your safety, of course. My blood ran cold. My apartment, my space. He was trying to invade my space under the guise of safety. He hadn't even asked. He just showed up, with a locksmith. Like he owned the place. I didn't ask for this, I managed to choke out. I don't want new locks, he just chuckled. Don't be silly, Ethan, it's for your own good, you never know who might be lurking around. He winked at the locksmith. Right, the locksmith, this burly guy with a shaved head and a bunch of tattoos, just shrugged. He clearly didn't want to be involved in this family drama. I felt this rage boiling up inside me. A white-hot fury I'd never experienced before. He was trying to control me, to intimidate me, to invade my privacy. And he was doing it with this sickeningly sweet, condescending tone, like I was a child. Get out, I said, my voice shaking with anger. Get out of my apartment. Rick's smile vanished. Don't you talk to me like that, young man, he snarled. I'm your father. You're not acting like it, I shot back, my voice rising. You're acting like a thief, a control freak. He stepped closer, his eyes blazing. You're going to regret this, Ethan. You're going to regret this very much. That's when everything changed. Something snapped inside me. I wasn't scared anymore. I wasn't confused. I was just angry, furious, empowered. No, I roared, stepping right up to him, my face inches from his. You're going to regret this. You've been pushing me around, manipulating me, controlling me my entire life. And I'm done. Do you hear me? I am done. The locksmith looked like he was about to bolt. Rick just stared at me, his jaw slack. He'd never seen me like this before. He'd never seen me fight back. I pointed at the door. Get out, I said, my voice low and steady. And take your locksmith with you, and don't ever come back here again. He backed away slowly, his eyes narrowed. You'll be hearing from my lawyer, he muttered, turning and storming out of the apartment. The locksmith practically tripped over himself trying to get out the door. I slammed the door shut and locked it, my hands shaking. I stood there for a minute, my heart pounding, my breath coming in ragged gasps. Then I did something I hadn't done in years. I cried. But these weren't tears of sadness or fear. These were tears of relief, of release, of liberation. I was free. Finally, truly free. I knew what I had to do. I had to fight. I had to protect myself. And I had to protect Nana Rose. No matter the cost, I grabbed my phone and called my lawyer. Let's do this, I said, my voice firm. Let's take him down. Okay, Reddit, here's how I'm preparing for war. Because let's be real, that's what this is. My dad, after the locksmith incident, well, let's just say he poked the bear. And this bear is done hibernating. First, I documented everything. The locksmith incident. Wrote down every detail, date, time, even what he was wearing. I've been keeping a journal of all of Rick's manipulative crap for years, but now I'm going full CSI. Screenshots of his Facebook posts, The nasty comments, the texts from family members parroting his lies, SAVED, PRINTED, cataloged. This isn't just about the inheritance anymore, this is about exposing him for the manipulative, gaslighting narcissist he is. Second, lawyer UP. Found a lawyer who specializes in elder abuse and bonus, isn't intimidated by my dad's bluster. She's a pit bull. I gave her all the documentation, Nana Rose's revised will, the financial records showing Rick's borrowing, more like stealing, everything. We're building a case so airtight he won't know what hit him. We're not just playing defense anymore. We're going on offense. Third allies, Aunt Clara, my rock. She's been through Rick's BS before and she's not backing down. She's connected me with other family members who have been burned by him in the past. Turns out I'm not the only one he's screwed over. We're building a united front. He messed with the wrong family. Fourth, mental fortress. This is the tough one. Years of his gaslighting have done a number on me. So, therapy, twice a week. It's helping me separate my feelings from his manipulation. Learning to set boundaries. Learning to value myself. It's hard, but it's essential. I have to be strong, not just for me, but for Nana Rose. I'm not letting him break me. Fifth, financial prep. I know this is going to be expensive. Legal fees, potential court battles, it adds up. I've started putting aside money, cutting back on unnecessary expenses. I'm preparing for a long fight. I'm not going broke fighting this jerk. This is an investment in my future, in my freedom. Sixth, the plan. My lawyer and I have a strategy. We're not just reacting to his attacks anymore, we're taking control of the narrative. We're going to expose him, systematically and publicly, for the fraud he is. He wants a war, he's going to get one. I know this isn't going to be easy. I know there will be more pain, more drama, more bullshit, but I'm ready. I'm stronger than I've ever been. I'm not the scared, confused kid he used to control anymore. I'm a man, and I'm fighting for my life. Wish me luck, Reddit, I'm going to need it. It was at Nana Rose's house, a Sunday afternoon, supposed to be a nice family lunch. Rick, my mom, my siblings, Aunt Clara, and Nana Rose were all there. Rick was holding court, as usual, going on and on about how Nana Rose needed to downsize, sell her house, move into assisted living. He kept emphasizing how much easier it would be for everyone. Translation: easier for him to get his hands on her money. The air was thick with tension. I could see Nana Rose getting more and more agitated, her hands trembling. I'd been dreading this. I knew it was coming. My lawyer had advised me to wait, to let him dig his own grave. And boy, was he digging. Mom, Rick said, his voice dripping with fake concern, this house is just too much for you. 3 bedrooms, it's ridiculous. You're rattling around in here like a pea in a drum. A nice little condo, now that would be perfect for you. Nana Rose set down her teacup, a sharp clink echoing in the sudden silence. Richard, she said, her voice surprisingly steady, I've lived in this house for 50 years, it's my home, and I'm not going anywhere. Rick rolled his eyes. Mom, you're being stubborn, it's for your own good. That's when I stepped in. Actually, Rick, I said, my voice calm and clear, I think Nana Rose is perfectly capable of making her own decisions. He whirled around, his face contorted in rage. You stay out of this, Ethan. I can't stay out of this, Rick, I said, holding his gaze. This is about Nana Rose's well-being, and I'm not going to let you bully her into something she doesn't want. Bully, he sputtered. I'm not bullying anyone, I'm just trying to help. Help yourself, you mean, I said, my voice rising. You've been trying to get your hands on Nana Rose's money for years. And now that she's finally seen through your charade, you're trying to force her to sell her house so you can get what you want. The room went silent. Everyone stared at me, mouths agape. Rick's face turned purple. You little, he stammered, unable to form a coherent sentence. I took a deep breath and pulled out a folder. I think it's time everyone saw this, I said, holding it up. Bank statements, emails, documented instances of financial exploitation, all courtesy of Richard, our loving son and father. I placed the folder on the table, the documents spilling out for everyone to see. Rick lunged for them, but I grabbed his wrist. Don't even think about it, I said, my voice cold. He yanked his hand back, his eyes blazing. You're lying, this is all lies. Is it, Rick? I said, turning to my siblings. Remember all those loans he asked Nana Rose for, the ones he never repaid, the ones he used to fund his failing business ventures? My brother and sister looked at each other, their faces pale. They knew, they'd always known. I turned to my mom. Mom, I said softly, remember all those times he blamed you for his financial problems, the times he said you were holding him back? My mom's eyes filled with tears. She nodded slowly. I looked back at Rick, my voice shaking with a mixture of anger and sadness. You've been lying and manipulating us for years, Rick, and I'm not going to let you do it anymore. Then, I said the words I'd been holding back for my entire life. I'm done. I'm cutting you out of my life. I want nothing more to do with you. The silence in the room was deafening. Rick just stared at me, his face a mask of shock and disbelief. He opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. He looked around the room at the faces of his family, and for the first time I saw a flicker of fear in his eyes. The fear of losing control, the fear of being exposed, the fear of being alone, and in that moment I knew I had won. The aftermath was messy. Rick stormed out, ranting and raving. My mom followed him, looking bewildered and heartbroken. My siblings were stunned into silence. Aunt Clara just squeezed my hand and smiled. Nana Rose, bless her heart, just patted my arm and said, "Good for you, Ethan, good for you." It wasn't pretty and things are still strained, but I felt this enormous weight lift off my shoulders. I'd finally stood up for myself. I'd finally broken free. And it felt amazing. Like I could finally breathe again. This isn't the end of the story, Reddit. I know there will be more battles to fight. But I'm ready. I'm not scared anymore. I'm free, and that's all that matters. It's been 6 months since the explosion at Nana Rose's. The fallout has been, well, exactly what you'd expect. A dumpster fire. Rick hasn't spoken to me since. He tried to contest Nana Rose's will, of course, but with the mountain of evidence we had against him, he didn't stand a chance. He's now ostracized by most of the family. Aunt Clara and I are closer than ever. She's been my rock through all of this. My siblings, it's complicated. They're still processing everything. They haven't fully sided with me, but they haven't sided with Rick either. It's this weird, uncomfortable middle ground. They're going low contact with Rick, but still trying to maintain some semblance of a relationship with him for my mom's sake. It's a mess. My mom, well, that's the hardest part. She's still with him. She's stuck in this cycle of denial and enabling. I try to talk to her, but it's like talking to a brick wall. She just keeps saying, "He's your father, Ethan. You have to forgive him." I don't think she understands. I don't think she wants to understand. I'm going low contact with everyone except Aunt Clara and Nana Rose. It's the only way I can protect my own mental health. It's sad, but it's necessary. I've learned THAT family give you the right to abuse someone. As for me, I'm different, I'm stronger. I'm not the same person I was 6 months ago. Therapy has been a game changer. I'm learning to set healthy boundaries, to prioritize my own well-being, to value myself. I've realized that Rick's actions are a reflection of him, not of me. I'm not responsible for his behavior, and I'm not going to let him control me anymore. I've started building a life for myself, a life free from his manipulation and toxicity. It's not easy, but it's worth it. I'm focusing on my career, my relationships with the people who actually care about me, and most importantly, on myself. It's a work in progress, but I'm getting there. This whole experience has been brutal. It's tested me in ways I never could have imagined. But it's also been liberating. It's forced me to confront some hard truths about my family, about myself. And it's made me realize that I'm stronger than I ever thought possible. So, Reddit, has anyone else gone through something similar? How did you handle it? Any advice for navigating the messy aftermath of family drama? I could really use some perspective.